Have you ever wondered why some people stay strong, sharp, and active into their 90s while others can barely get off the couch after 70? It's not just luck, it's habits. And I am betting most of what you've been told about staying fit as you age is either outdated or flat out wrong. I used to think walking every day was the magic bullet. Toss on some sneakers, hit the pavement, and boom, you're golden. But then I started digging deeper, talking to people who've cracked the code on aging, and I realized something wild. What we've been sold as healthy aging is missing huge pieces of the puzzle. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone shuffle along, hunched over, looking way older than they are? Even though they swear they're active, that's not just time catching up. It is a sign they were stuck in a rut that is quietly speeding up the clock. Now, I'm not here to knock walking. It is great for clearing your head or getting your steps in. But if that is all you are doing, you're leaving your body vulnerable in ways you might not even notice yet. Maybe you've felt it already. Those little twinges in your knees after a long stroll, or that moment you try to stand up and your legs wobble like they've forgotten how to work. It's not about giving up. It's about leveling up. Today, I'm spilling the beans on 5 hidden habits that'll keep you strong, steady, and independent way past 70. Stuff that goes way beyond just putting one foot in front of the other. These aren't random tips I pulled out of thin air either. I've spent years researching this, talking to experts, and seeing it work for real people. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to tweak to feel younger, move better, and maybe even surprise yourself with what you're still capable of. And trust me, the 5th habit, it's so under the radar, it'll flip everything you thought you knew upside down. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's rewrite the rules on aging, starting right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am stoked you rejoining us. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. Today we were diving into something massive, 5 hidden habits to stop aging fast after 70. You might be thinking, wait, I've got my daily walk covered, isn't that enough? And I get it. I used to think the same thing. But here's the deal. Walking's awesome for your heart and your mood. But it is not the full picture when it comes to staying strong and independent as you get older. I'm going to break down why that one-size-fits-all advice doesn't cut it anymore, share 5 game-changing habits that actually work, and prove it with some real-life wins that'll make you go, whoa, I need to try that. I've been obsessed with health and longevity for years, digging into studies, chatting with pros, and helping thousands of you rethink what aging can look like through this channel. And let me tell you, what I've found is gold. These habits aren't about turning you into a gym rat or forcing you to overhaul your life. They were simple shifts that pack a punch. We're talking about stuff that keeps your muscles from fading, your balance on point, and your joints happy, all while letting you live the way you want. I've seen people go from feeling stiff and shaky to moving like they've shaved a decade off, just by tweaking a few things. So, what's in it for you? By the end of this, you'll have a roadmap to feel stronger, dodge those sneaky aches, and keep doing the stuff you love. Whether that's chasing grandkids, gardening, or just getting through your day without a hitch. And don't skip out. The 5th habit is a total sleeper hit that almost no one talks about, but it could be the key to unlocking everything else. If you're ready to take notes, awesome. If not, just hang out and soak it in. Either way, you're about to see aging in a whole new light. Let's dive into habit number 1. Number 1. Build strength to fight the clock. Alright, habit number 1. Let's kick this off with a biggie. Here's a question to chew on. When asked the last time you picked up something hefty, like a big jug of water or a stack of books, and thought, man, this feels way harder than it should? I met this guy, Tom, 72, a retired teacher who used to haul camping gear around like it was nothing. But a few months back he went to lift a suitcase into his trunk and nearly crumpled. His arms just wouldn't cooperate. He shrugged it off as getting old, figuring it was par for the course. Tom was a walking machine too, clocking miles every day, thinking that was his ticket to staying fit. But here's where it gets wild. His doctor sat him down and said, Tom, walking's not enough. Your muscles are shrinking and you're not even noticing. See, after 70, your body starts losing muscle fast. There's this thing called sarcopenia that kicks in, and it's brutal. It is why climbing stairs feels like a workout, or why standing up from a chair turns into a whole production. Walking's great for your legs and your ticker, but it doesn't push your muscles to stay strong. It is like watering a plant without feeding it. Tom was skeptical, but his doc told him to try strength-building moves. Nothing crazy, just grabbing some light dumbbells, doing squats by the counter, or even lifting a heavy pot while cooking. He started with 5-pound weights, feeling a little silly at first, but after 2 months, total game changer. He's back to tossing that suitcase around, carrying groceries without a sweat, and even picking up his old hiking habit. The payout's huge. Strength training doesn't just keep your muscles from fading. It boosts your energy, cuts your injury risk, and keeps you doing everyday stuff without a struggle. You don't need a gym either. Resistance bands, bodyweight moves like wall push-ups, or even a couple cans of soup work fine. It's about telling your body, hey, we're not done yet. So, if you're still banking on walks alone, this is your nudge. Start small, build strength, and watch how it fights the clock for you. To train your balance to stay steady. Balance. On to habit number 2. Ever catch yourself wobbling a bit when you step off a curb? I had this neighbor, Linda, 74, who was all about her morning dog walks. She'd stride out with her pup, feeling like she had it all together. Then one day she hit a tiny crack in the sidewalk. Didn't even fall, but she stumbled hard and had to grab a fence to steady herself. It freaked her out. She told me, I used to bounce back from stuff like that. What's happening? Linda thought her daily walks were keeping her golden. But here's the kicker. Walking doesn't train your balance. It keeps you moving forward, sure, but those little stabilizing muscles in your feet, ankles, and core, they're just coasting along. After 70, balance starts slipping. Not because you're clumsy, but because you stop challenging it. Falls are a massive deal. Stats say they're the top reason older folks lose their independence. And it's not always about weak legs. It's about not being steady. Linda asked physical therapist dropped some truth. You don't to lose balance because you're old. You lose it because you're not using it. She started simple, standing on one leg while brushing her teeth, walking heel to toe like a tightrope act in her kitchen. At first, she wobbled like crazy, laughing at herself. But after a few weeks, she was rock solid. Now she's back to chasing her dog without second-guessing every step. The trick? Balance drills don't need fancy gear. Just a few minutes a day. Try holding a countertop and lifting one foot, or do a slow march with high knees. It wakes up those tiny muscles and keeps you steady. The payout's massive. Fewer stumbles, more confidence, and a huge buffer against falls. So if you're still leaning on walking as your go-to, add this in. Your future self will thank you big time. Number 3, stretch to keep moving freely. Habit number 3, let's talk about feeling loose. Ever try bending down to grab something, like your shoes or a dropped remote, and feel like your body is saying, nope, not today? My Aunt Maria, 71, used to love tinkering in her garden, pulling weeds and planting flowers. But last year she told me she quit. Every time she reached down, her hips locked up and her back groaned. She'd still walk every evening thinking that kept her limber, but then she noticed even turning her head to wave at a neighbor felt tight. She was stumped. I'm active, so why's this happening? Turns out, walking's great for motion, but it doesn't stretch you out. It's the same old range over and over. After 70, your joints and muscles stiffen up if you don't push them. Flexibility fades, and suddenly, stuff like tying your shoes or reaching a high shelf feels like a chore. Maria's yoga buddy clued her in. You've got to move your body through its full range or it'll freeze up. She started easy, arm circles while watching TV, leg swings by the sink, a little stretch where she pulls her knee to her chest. She felt goofy at first, like she was auditioning for a dance class, but a month later, she's back in her garden, bending and twisting like it's no big deal. Her neck's looser too, driving's a breeze again. The secret's simple, stretch daily. Dynamic moves, like shoulder rolls or a gentle lunge, keep your joints happy and your muscles pliable. The payout? You move smoother, dodge stiffness, and keep your independence intact. If walking's your main gig, toss this in. It's the missing link to feeling free in your own skin. Number 4, power up your core for everything else. Habit number 4, let's get to your foundation. Ever notice you're slouching more, Like your shoulders just want to curl in? My buddy James, 73, used to be the guy who'd walk for hours, parks, trails, you name it. But last summer he started feeling this dull ache in his lower back after every trek. He'd sit down, and it'd linger. Then he caught a glimpse of himself in a store window, hunched over, looking way older than he felt. He thought, this can't be right, I'm active. But here's the catch. Walking doesn't hit your core. Those deep muscles around your spine and belly, they're what keep you upright, steady, and pain-free. And they don't get a workout from steps alone. After 70, a weak core means more than just bad posture. It's back pain, shaky balance, even breathing gets tougher. James chatted with a trainer who said, "Your core's asleep, man. Wake it up." He started small, tightening his abs while sitting holding a wall plank for 20 seconds or doing a slow twist with his torso. He laughed about feeling like a kid doing gym class, but a few weeks in, the ache faded. He stands taller now, no effort, and his walks feel lighter. The fix? Core moves. Nothing wild. Try pressing your back against a wall and engaging your abs, or sit tall and tilt your pelvis. The payout's huge. Less pain, better stability, and you look younger without trying. If walking's your only play, power up your core. It's the glue that holds it all together. Number 5. Ease your joints with smart moves. Finally, habit number 5, the sleeper hit. Ever finish a long walk and feel your knees creak or your hips grumble like they re-mad at you? Sarah, 76, was a walking champ. Every morning, rain or shine, she'd hit the block. But a while back, she started waking up stiff, like her joints had rusted overnight. She'd hobble out of bed, wincing, thinking, this is just what happens, right? She loved her walks, so she kept going, but the stiffness got worse. Her doc dropped a truth bomb. Walking's good, but too much of it without mixing it up grinds your joints down. After 70, cartilage thins, and that repetitive thud-thud-thud can turn a good habit into a sneaky saboteur. Sarah was thrown. Walking was her thing, but her doc pushed her to try low-impact stuff instead. She dipped her toes into swimming at the community pool, pedaled a stationary bike, even did some chair stretches during her shows. At first, she missed the pavement, but a month later, her knees stopped creaking, her hips felt light, and she was moving better than ever. The habit's easy. Swap some walks for joint-friendly moves like water aerobics, gentle tai chi, or a slow bike ride. No pounding, just flow. The payout? Less ache, more ease, and joints that thank you instead of cursing you. If walking's your default, ease up and mix this in. Your body will feel the difference fast. There you go. 5 hidden habits to stop aging fast after 70. Build strength, train balance, stretch it out, power your core, and ease your joints. These aren't just tips. They're your ticket to staying strong, moving free, and keeping your independence no matter what the calendar says. But here is the real talk. These habits hit different when you pair them with the right fuel. What you eat can either turbocharge this or tank it. So if you want the top foods to lock in these gains, check out my video on that right here. It's the perfect follow-up to keep you crushing it. Click now and keep the streak going. Let's wrap this up quick. Think about where you're at. Are your muscles fading? Balance shaky? Joints stiff? These 5 fixes can turn it around, and the best part? You don't need a fancy setup or hours a day. Just small, smart moves that add up. I've seen people go from creaky and cautious to strong and unstoppable, and you can too. Which habit's calling your name? Drop a comment below. Type 1 if you loved this, 0 if it's not your thing, and tell me what you're trying first. I read every single one, and it fires me up to see what's clicking for you. If this hit the spot, smash that like button. It tells me you're vibing with this and helps more people find it. New here? Subscribe and tap the bell. I'm dropping stuff like this all the time, and I'd hate for you to miss out. Share this with someone who needs a boost, maybe a parent, a friend, anyone who's ready to rethink aging. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You're the reason I do this. Catch you in the next one. Keep moving, keep thriving, and I'll see you soon.